We are familiar with different metals. They will engage in chemical reactions differently. We can arrange the metals based on the reactivity. A series obtained by arranging different metals based on the reactivity is known as a reactivity series. See the series. Here, potassium is the most reactive one. Next one is sodium, and so on. We can compare the reactivity of metals based on the series. That's by analyzing the position of metals in the series, we can say which one is more reactive and which one is less reactive. The difference in reactivity of metals can be utilized in making cells. Let us see an example. Here a zinc rod is dipped in zinc sulfate solution and a copper rod dipped in copper sulfate solution, externally connected to a voltmeter and internally connected by a salt bridge. Deflections in the voltmeter will give you the idea that there is a flow of electrons from zinc to copper as seen in the animated diagram. A salt bridge is an arrangement which helps to complete the circuit by transfer of ions and maintains the electrical neutrality of the cell. A long filter paper which is moistened with a solution of potassium chloride can be used instead of a salt bridge. Such an arrangement in which chemical energy is converted to electrical energy by means of a redox reaction is called a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell. This one is an example for a galvanic cell. Here, the flow of electrons are from zinc to copper. See the position of zinc and copper in the reactivity series. Zinc is more reactive than copper. In a galvanic cell, the more reactive metal undergoes oxidation and the less reactive one undergoes reduction. So here the more reactive metal zinc undergoes oxidation and the less reactive metal copper undergoes reduction. See the equations of reactions. Zn gives Zn2 plus 2e minus. Loss of electrons, oxidation. The electrons thus liberated reaches the copper electrode through the external circuit and are received by the copper ions in solution, changing them into copper. So copper undergoes reduction. See the equations. Cu2 plus 2e minus gives Cu, a process of reduction. So the first one is oxidation, second one is reduction. Now see the overall equation. Zn plus Cu2 plus gives Zn2 plus Cu. A typical example for a redox reaction. That means a reaction in which oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. So the transfer of electrons produced by this redox reaction causes the flow of electric current in the cell. So this is an example for a galvanic cell. That means an arrangement in which chemical energy is converted to electrical energy by means of a redox reaction. Now let us see another example. Here a copper rod is dipped in copper sulfate solution and a silver rod dipped in silver nitrate solution. The two electrodes are connected externally to a voltmeter and internally by a salt bridge. In the animated diagram, you can see the flow of electrons are from copper to silver. See in the previous example of zinc and copper, the flow of electrons was from zinc to copper. And now here in this case, the flow of electrons are from copper to silver. So that's a question to be answered. It's a topic to be discussed. Why is it so? Copper is more reactive than silver. So copper will undergo oxidation and silver will undergo reduction. That means here in this case copper will be the anode and silver will be the cathode. So here in this case, copper undergoes oxidation and silver undergoes reduction. The reaction taking place at anode is, at anode, Cu gives Cu2 plus 2e minus, loss of electrons, oxidation. At cathode, 2Ag plus 2e minus gives 2Ag, gain of electrons, reduction. Now see the overall equation. The overall reaction is Cu plus 2Ag plus gives Cu2 plus 2Ag, a redox reaction, a reaction which oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. So this is also an example for a galvanic cell. So we had seen two examples. Similarly, we can arrange more galvanic cells using other metals also. Water may be our choice. See, in a galvanic cell, the more reactive metal will be the anode and the less reactive metal will be the cathode. So in general, a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell is an arrangement in which chemical energy is converted to electrical energy by means of a redox reaction.